According to one longitudinal study of 4,000 women, 5% of rape victims are made pregnant. This leads to 32,000 pregnancies a year in America. That's about 100 pregnancies every day from rape alone. Now, this is 5% of those who are raped. So there are 20 times more rapes than just those pregnancies alone, altogether. That gives us somewhere around 640,000 rapes a year. Okay, 640,000. We do the math, right? We'll just call it 2,000 rapes a day, something like that. Right? 2,000 rapes every day. Now, let's talk about fetishes, shall we? Does everyone have the same desire to rape the same way? No. Obviously, some of these corporate psychopaths, right, on record as psychologists say it that way too. I see them all as psychopaths. I see 1 in 5. Obviously, they have the money and the power to get away with it. Obviously, they work with their friends to design society. Obviously, when they say haru as heru, with an E, okay, heru, we can also get her eye. And this also goes back to my video about Harpocrates, okay, which is part of their sex ritual in the Greco-Roman mysteries. Okay. So, again, that goes back to the therapist, the rapist, in the other videos. Well, how do these people make their money? Well, certainly a certain amount of rape victims come to them. So they have vested interest, financially at least, right? Not saying they're all that way, in upholding the rape culture to keep their business profitable and lucrative. Isn't that strange? We live in a society where the very people who are supposed to help us really have vested interest with the people who are hurting us. And they are the people that we are taught to respect the most, and women are taught to date up and date these people. Should we be teaching our women to instead carry their cross, so to speak, to stand with the most righteous of men and to be screened out with them? Is it really worth finding our lives under these circumstances? Is survival a positive human trait, or does it become detestable? I often bring up the example of Native Americans or samurais who were screened out in battle, warriors who were killed. Some of the first people killed, logically, were warriors resisting the oppressor. Are the people that sold them out and bred with their murderers more respectable than those warriors? I've come across house niggas, for example, that have made the argument that the survivors are more respectable than those warriors. Obviously, beta males, scientists included, mental health professionals, people that teach you to go along, to get along. It's not so bad. Quit complaining, Their allies saying, go back to Africa if you don't like it. Go back to whatever country you're from, whatever shithole, right, you're from. Just despicable scum. And obviously, when you look at martial arts, right, which side of the argument are they on? Do they have American flags in their studio? Do they have American Taekwondo, American Karate? I'm not saying all these guys are bad, but certainly they're on the wrong side of the fence. It's pretty much me on one side of the fence and everyone else for their reasons on the other side of the fence, helping them scream me out. People are expect you to believe that someone as sharp as I am is not being targeted, that it's not part of the rape culture. If you're targeted for exposing this culture that is first and foremost about sexual fetishes. People spend astronomical figures on escorts every year, okay? Money is about reproduction and fertility first and foremost, right? All this cute little stuff, it's just about, making us feeling good, right? What makes us feel better than sex? If you can buy things that make you feel good, what is the bell that rings the loudest, right? The whore that rode the bull is the reason why, one of the main reasons why the bull is the bull. One of the reasons why kids get bullied, right? Raping a female who's kind of shy in a fraternity or a football team or whatever, is an act of bullying. You're an idiot if you're on the bull side of the martial arts debate. You're out of touch. You think those females who hold the signs in boxing matches, UFC matches, those scantily clad females, okay, are not victims of conditioning, and they're not sleeping with men they wouldn't otherwise? You think every celebrity deserves the choicest of women? You think every rich person deserves every popular person? And it still, I go as far as say none of them do. Not a single one. Nothing but ill-gotten gains. And of course, this is trickle-down ill-gotten gains. The structure they have forged, the social classes they have forged as a result of these ill-gotten gains produce people to varying degrees that benefit in terms of women, which is basically they may as well put a gun to their head and rape them. They may as well shoot someone in front of them and say, hey, you didn't want to have sex with me. This is what happens. And then they say, how about you? Do you want to have sex with me? They're not necessarily putting a gun to their head and raping them, but they know the consequences if they don't have quote-unquote consensual sex. They're in a state of fear, deer in headlights, right? They can't move. They can't make a proper judgment call. So these are only the rapes that are recorded as such. And we're talking 620,000 a year in America alone. Yes, it's dishonorable just to survive, even if that was the only issue. But I tell you the truth. Pretty much every person that is having sex is being raped, with a special emphasis on women. Even the rapist is conditioned to do something he otherwise wouldn't do, but he knows better. He's not under direct mind control. They're not moving him around like a puppet. He knows better. But she also knows better. What do you think? You think I have to tell them that, hey, these are the oppressors, that if you're Native American, these are the scumbags that raped and killed your people? Oh, you didn't know that. You didn't put one and one together. These are their great grandkids, right? They're using their money that they got from robbing your people to convince you to be a whore. And those token pussies you date, those are the bitches that help them. You need me to tell you that? Oh my God, that pisses me off. And yes, it should piss me off. And yes, it's wrong for them to insist on drugging me, even if I start yelling about how much I want those motherfuckers. Yes, that's bitch shit. Yes, that's beta male bitch shit. No self-respecting alpha male would exist in a state of dishonor without fighting tooth and nail with these bitches. He couldn't do it. And I reject any argument of anybody who calls himself a martial artist who didn't stand with me. Who did you stand with, you bitch? Who the fuck did you stand with?